Welcome everyone to the 14th episode of the Experiment Floor. Today, as part of a 14th examination episode, we will be joined by Chief Field Technician Imole as we examine the combat and field characteristics of the super missile. The term super missile refers to at least 3 different types of powerful upgraded missile systems that have been designed mainly as an upgrade to standard missiles, with different iterations being made by the Chozo, Galactic Federation, and the Space Pirates, unified mostly by having common levels of overall power. While basic missile systems on their own can prove to be an effective weapon of offense against creatures and machines alike, in some cases, their power might not be enough to get the job done, and in these instances, there is the super missile to take their place. However, what makes these weapons truly unique is that they come in several different forms with different attributes as a result. As with standard missiles, traditional Chozodian super missiles are typically created with portable ammunition storage materials loaded into an arm cannon, consisting of a rocket-propelled ballistic projectile with a potent fuel mixture that ensures that it flies and impacts the target harshly when its fuel is ignited, additionally possessing a distinct green-colored tip that is packed full of extremely powerful, shock-sensitive explosives designed to detonate from the force applied from colliding with an object, triggered by a detonator in the tip of the nose cone structure itself. They stand out strongly from normal missiles, however, in that the explosives contained inside are so rare and potent that they can generate explosive shockwaves when they impact an object that can make solid surfaces rumble from their sheer power, and in turn are much more powerful than a standard missile, often dealing triple or more damage to a creature when they hit. Linked to these objects are also super missiles that have been developed by the Galactic Federation and some tribes that chose like the Machine. While these iterations still pack 3 times the damaging power of a normal missile, their form is only slightly different in appearance compared to normal missiles, and they can be created and used as freely as standard missiles, giving them a severe increase in power without requiring extra ammunition to be used. Compared to these models, the super missiles used by the Space Pirates as heavy artillery weapons are far more powerful and dangerous than a standard missile, but do not require any type of special ammunition because they are designed instead as a function of the charge beam. In essence, if one is in possession of a charge beam upgrade, it is possible to combine this weapon and the missile launcher by fully charging the shot and then activating the firing mechanism from the missile system instead of simply firing the charged shot instead. This results in a number of potential beam combos depending on the type of beam weapon used, but with the standard power beam, this combination results in the Space Pirate Super Missile. Instead of using external ammunition, this weapon allows the user to charge up a shot and then, when they activate the missile launcher, use that charged shot to immediately energize the missile launcher and force the launch mechanism for the device to overload and stack 5 missiles into the firing chamber at once. Given the highly explosive nature of standard missiles, this results in the 5 missiles, along with the charge energy, to be fired out as a single burst of energetic and explosive force all at once. This projectile has the power of about 6 missiles as a whole, with the 5 used for ammunition and the power of the added charged beam shot, and they have the same sort of tracking features seen in other types of missiles, having a microchip installed in the propulsion circuits that can be programmed to track any enemy that is currently being targeted with combat visor technology, making them effective as ballistic projectiles for targeting and dealing extremely heavy damage to creatures otherwise immune to damage from standard energy weapons and normal missiles. Moreover, it is very hard to shoot down or otherwise block these projectiles when they are airborne, as a projectile must make a physical impact in order to detonate the payload, and even extremely thick armor can have trouble repelling the damaging power of these weapons. Regardless of their form and or origin, super missiles cannot be fired as rapidly as shots from a standard beam weapon or standard missile, with the Space Pirate iteration giving a noticeable kickback to the user when fired, but that is more than compensated for by being much more powerful than standard ballistic weaponry and have the capacity to destroy objects that are otherwise impossible for beam weapons and normal missiles to penetrate. The concussive force of a single super missile is usually good for not only inflicting immense amounts of damage against most enemies, but is often required to order damage to extremely heavily armored creatures that are otherwise resistant or immune to the effects of beam weapons and standard missiles. It is further noted that standard super missiles are capable of breaking green blast shields and are able to destabilize and destroy objects made out of cordite. Traditional Chozodian super missiles tend to be a finite resource and must be replenished over time to keep their stock up, and super missile expansions can be used to add a very increased amount of Chozo super missile ammunition one's armor suit can hold at a time.
Now this is what I call actual firepower. You know, despite the fact we might have had our own version of this weapon, it's a shame that no one thought to even make use of it, despite it being available and designed by us in certain models. I suppose our command wanted them as some sort of reserve in case they were actually needed, but I don't know. The traditional Chozodian version of this weapon is damn powerful and can put down almost anything in a hurry, but they're also hard to find and oftentimes not worth it if you can't back them up with lesser firepower. As for our version, like I said, we made the damn thing, but we never were allowed to use it for safety reasons and to simply stockpile weapon systems for later use. Yeah, sure. Maybe we had used them instead of leaving the weapon system out in the open for the hunter to grab it, not just once but twice, we might have had a chance. Bunch of morons. We make the damn thing, we use it. Simple as that.
Thank you for attending this presentation on the experiment floor. Super missiles are indeed among the strongest of ballistic weapons that anyone can ever get a hold of, and while it might be costly to do so, the extreme power they can offer is more than tantalizing to those that can find a way to access them. However, make sure that you know where you're aiming if you plan on firing one of these babies, as close quarters brawls where friendly fire is possible might get a bit too risky if you accidentally blow a teammate into meat chunks from a single pull of the trigger. Thank you all for watching this video. We here at Space Pirate Science Team take our work very seriously, and we genuinely wish to be as informative as possible when it comes to the work we conduct here, for both ourselves and in the name of science. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment to help us get greater recognition out there to inform the greater populace of the universe as a whole. Also, feel free to keep track of us through Twitter, as we'll be posting notices there every time something new is submitted for your viewing pleasure. We hope to see you all in the next video, no matter what road it may take us to.